The massive chamber of the Galactic Council stretched wider than any Earth stadium. Ambassador John stood at the center, his simple gray suit looking plain next to the colorful robes of alien representatives. Above him, the council leader Crix floated on his crystal platform. His three eyes looked down at the human with what seemed like pity. "The vote is complete," Crix announced. His voice echoed through the translator devices. Earth will remain under protection status level 5. No access to jump drive technology. No weapons beyond basic plasma. No expansion beyond your solar system. John kept his face calm. He had expected this result. For 50 years, ever since first contact, the galaxy had treated humans like children. They called Earth a developing world that needed protection. The truth was different. They feared what humans might become. "We accept the Council's decision," John said. His voice was steady. "May I ask when Earth can apply for review again?" "In 100 of your Earth years," Crix replied. Several aliens made sounds that might have been laughter. "Your species is too young, too violent. The war records from your planet show this clearly. You fight among yourselves constantly. The galaxy cannot risk such aggression spreading to peaceful worlds." John nodded slowly. "I understand. We will inform Earth of your decision." As John walked toward the exit, Ambassador Vex of the Creel Empire called out, "Perhaps humans should be grateful. The galaxy protects you from dangers you cannot imagine. Without our shields around your system, pirates and raiders would destroy your little world in days." John stopped but did not turn around. "Thank you for your protection," he said. Then he left. Back on his ship, John opened a secure channel to Earth. General Smith appeared on the screen. The old soldier's face showed no surprise when John delivered the news. "So they still think we're helpless," Smith said. "How long before they realize their mistake?" "Not long now," John replied. "The Creel Empire grows bolder. They've taken 3 more systems this month. The Council does nothing because they fear the Creel fleet." Smith smiled. It was not a kind smile. "And when the Creel finally attack a Council world? Then the Council will beg for help," John said. "And we'll show them what humanity really is." For 50 years, Earth had played weak. They had hidden their true strength. While alien observers watched their old cities and simple farms, humans had built underground. Deep beneath Earth's surface, in places no alien scanner could reach, humanity had prepared. They had not stolen alien technology. They had created their own. Where aliens used energy shields, humans developed armor that could repair itself. Where aliens used plasma weapons, humans created bullets that could pierce any defense. Where aliens used jump drives that took days, humans found ways to fold space in seconds. The restrictions had actually helped. Unable to expand outward, humanity had gone inward. Every human was enhanced now. Stronger, faster, smarter. Their soldiers trained from childhood, not for conquest but for protection. Earth had become a fortress that looked like a farm. "The Creel fleet mass is near the border," Smith reported. "Our spies say they plan to attack the Council capital within the month." "Good," John said. "Let them. When the Council calls for aid, when they beg Earth to save them, we'll be ready. But this time there will be conditions." Smith nodded. "No more restrictions. Full membership. Equal vote. And recognition of human space," John added. "All the systems we've quietly claimed while they weren't watching." The 2 men shared a look of understanding. The galaxy thought Earth was weak because humans fought among themselves. They never understood that human conflict had made them stronger. Every war had taught them something new. Every battle had improved their tactics. Humans did not fight because they were primitive. They fought because they were good at it. Soon the galaxy would learn why Earth's ancient warriors were remembered in fear, why human history was filled with impossible victories, why a species from a small blue planet had survived everything the universe threw at them. The Galactic Council had put chains on humanity. They were about to learn what happened when those chains broke. 3 weeks later, the emergency signal spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Creel Empire had done the unthinkable. Their massive fleet, 5,000 ships strong, had jumped directly into Council space. The capital world of Prima was under siege. In the Council chambers, panic ruled. Crix floated on his platform, his 3 eyes wide with fear. The other ambassadors shouted over each other, their translators creating a chaos of voices. "The Creel have broken through Sector 7, someone screamed. "Our fleet is scattered. They cannot respond in time. Prima's shields will fail within hours." Ambassador Vex of the Creel Empire stood proud in the center of the chaos. His scaled skin gleamed under the lights. "The old order is finished," he declared. "The Creel Empire offers you a choice. Surrender now and become our subjects. Fight and be destroyed." Crix's voice shook as he spoke. "The Council does not yield to threats. Our member worlds will unite against you." Vex laughed, a sound like grinding metal. "What member worlds?" "The Altarians hide in their nebula. The Centauri claim neutrality. Your precious alliance crumbles at the first real threat." It was then that Ambassador John entered the chamber. He walked calmly through the chaos, his footsteps steady on the polished floor. Every eye turned to him. "Earth offers assistance," John said simply. The chamber fell silent. Even Vex stopped laughing. Crix floated lower, his eyes desperate. "Earth? But you have no fleet? No weapons that could match the Creel. Your world is protected by our shields, defenseless without them." John smiled. "About that, we need to discuss terms." "Terms?" Crix's voice rose. "Prima burns and you speak of terms?" "Yes," John said. "Remove all restrictions on Earth, full council membership, recognition of human territorial claims, and acknowledgement that humanity acts as an independent military force." Vex stepped forward, his claws extended. "You dare make demands while under our protection? One word from me and the Creel fleet will turn Earth to ash." John looked at Vex with calm eyes. "Try it," the simple words hung in the air. Vex snarled and activated his communicator. "Third Fleet set course for Earth, destroy everything." Minutes passed. The chamber waited in tense silence. Then Vex's communicator buzzed. His scaled face went pale as he read the message. "What is it?" Crix asked. Vex's voice was hollow. "Third Fleet is gone. All 800 ships, destroyed in 12 seconds. The chamber erupted again, but this time in shock rather than panic. John remained calm, hands clasped behind his back. "How?" Crix whispered. "Earth's defense grid," John explained. "We calls them Hornets. Tiny drones, each no bigger than your fist. But we have trillions of them. They hide in space, invisible to your sensors. When threatened, they swarm. They eat through shields, hulls, everything. Your third fleet was consumed in seconds." He turned to address the entire chamber. "For 50 years you kept us caged. You thought you were protecting the galaxy from us. In truth, we were protecting you. Every restriction you placed, we found a way around. Every limit you set, we exceeded in ways you never imagined." John pulled out a small device and pressed a button. The main screen lit up, showing space around Prima. The Creel invasion fleet, 5,000 ships that had seemed unstoppable, was surrounded. "Not by ships, but by something else. What are those?" someone asked. "Human warriors," John said. "Each one wearing what we call an Aegis suit. Personal armor that can survive in space, weapons that can crack a destroyer's hull, and they can phase through shields like they don't exist." On the screen, the human warriors moved. There were only 500 of them against 5,000 ships. It should have been a massacre. It was, but not the way anyone expected. The warriors phased through the Creel shields like ghosts. They attached devices to the hulls and vanished. Seconds later, Creel ships began exploding from the inside. Their proud dreadnoughts cracked open like eggs. Their carriers vented atmosphere and crew into space. In 20 minutes, half the Creel fleet was gone. The rest were retreating in panic. Vex fell to his knees. "Impossible. Our fleet was the strongest in the galaxy." "No," John corrected. "Your fleet was the strongest you knew about. Humanity has been preparing for real threats. Threats from outside the galaxy. Threats that make your little empire look like children playing with toys." He looked at Crix. "Do we have an agreement?" Crix looked at the destruction on the screen. The mighty Creel fleet, terror of the galaxy for centuries, ran like scared animals from 500 human warriors. His 3 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep distress among his people. "The Council agrees to your terms," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "All restrictions on Earth are lifted immediately." John nodded. "Good. Now, let me introduce you to the real human fleet." He pressed another button on his device. The screen changed, showing empty space near Prima. Then reality seemed to twist. Space itself bent and folded. From nowhere, ships appeared. Not dozens. Not hundreds. Thousands. But these were not like any ships the galaxy had seen. They were black as space itself, angular and sharp like blades. They moved wrong, seeming to skip through space rather than fly. Some were small, no bigger than fighters. Others were massive, dwarfing even the largest Creel dreadnought. "Impossible," an ambassador gasped. "Our sensors showed nothing." "How long have they been there?" 3 weeks, John said casually. We arrived the day the Creel began massing their fleet. We've been waiting, cloaked, watching. We could have stopped the invasion before it started, but you needed to see. You needed to understand. Ambassador Vex stood up slowly, his face showing fear for the first time. You let us attack? You let my people die just to make a point? Your people chose to invade, John replied coldly. We simply chose when to stop you. And we're not done. On the screen, the human fleet moved. The retreating Creel ships tried to jump away, but space around them solidified. They were trapped, unable to escape. The human ships did not fire weapons. Instead, they released more warriors. Thousands this time. The warriors swarmed the Creel ships like antibodies attacking a virus. They phased through hulls, disabled weapons, destroyed engines. But they left life support running. They took the ships intact, capturing rather than destroying. We don't need to kill, John explained. Death is wasteful. Your ships will be studied, your technology absorbed and improved. Your crews will be returned to Creel space with a message. What message? Vex asked, though he clearly did not want to know. That humanity is done hiding, done pretending. The galaxy will change now, whether it wants to or not. General Smith's face appeared on a secondary screen. He was older than John, with gray hair and scars that told stories of Earth's hidden wars. Ambassador, we've received signals from beyond the galactic rim. The Watchers have noticed. The council chamber went cold. Every species knew of the Watchers. Ancient signals from outside the galaxy. Ships that appeared and vanished. Ruins of civilizations that had tried to expand too far. The great threat that kept all species huddled in this one galaxy, afraid to venture out. They've noticed the fight? Crix asked, fear clear in his voice. No, Smith said. They've noticed us, humanity. They know we're ready. John turned to address the chamber one final time. You thought you were protecting us, keeping us weak and contained. But Earth knew the truth 50 years ago. The Watchers don't care about weak species. They destroy civilizations that might threaten them. Every species that has tried to leave this galaxy has been annihilated. He paused, letting his words sink in. So we prepared differently. We didn't build ships to conquer you. We built them to fight the real enemy. Every restriction you placed taught us to be creative. Every limit showed us new ways to grow. You made us ready for a war you're too afraid to imagine. But why reveal yourselves now? Someone asked. Because the Watchers are coming, John said simply. Our actions today triggered their attention. They'll be here within the year, and when they arrive, the galaxy needs to be united, under human command. The chamber erupted in protests, but John raised his hand. This is not conquest. This is survival. Every species will keep their worlds, their governments. But the military will be unified. Human generals will lead because we understand war in ways you never had to. He looked directly at Crix. You kept peace for 1,000 years by avoiding conflict, but peace through weakness only lasts until someone stronger appears. Humanity offers you peace through strength, the ability to fight back against anything. On the screens, the human fleet had completely surrounded Prima, not threatening, but protecting. The message was clear. Humanity was taking charge whether the galaxy liked it or not. 6 months had passed since humanity revealed its true power. The galaxy had changed completely. Human military advisors worked on every major world. Earth's technology, so long hidden, now strengthened every fleet. The Creel Empire had become the first to fully integrate with Earth's forces. Their warriors learning human tactics with surprising enthusiasm. Ambassador Vex, once Earth's opponent, now stood beside John in the command center of Fortress Luna, humanity's moon-turned battle station. His scaled face showed respect rather than the old arrogance. Your people trained mine well, Vex admitted. The Creel thought we were warriors. Compared to humans, we were merely soldiers. John watched the tactical display showing the entire galaxy. Every system marked, every fleet tracked. You fought for conquest. We learned to fight for survival. There's a difference. General Smith entered the command center, his face grim. They're here. The main screen changed, showing the edge of the galaxy. Space itself seemed to ripple, and then they appeared. The Watchers' fleet was nothing like anyone expected. Their ships were organic-looking, like living creatures made of metal and flesh combined. They pulsed with energy that hurt to look at directly. How many? John asked. 10,000 capital ships, maybe 50,000 smaller vessels, and something else. Smith highlighted a section of the display. This thing is the size of Jupiter. The massive object defied understanding. It looked like a sphere of twisted space with tentacles of energy reaching out in all directions. Where those tentacles touched, stars dimmed. Crix, who had been brought to Luna for safety, floated near the display. His 3 eyes were wide with terror. The old records spoke of such things. World eaters, they called them. Machines that consume entire systems for fuel. Well, John said calmly, good thing we prepared for this. He activated the galaxy-wide communication system. Every screen on every world lit up with his image. Citizens of the galaxy, he began. The enemy we've waited for has arrived. The Watchers come not to conquer but to destroy. They see our united galaxy as a threat to their existence. They're right to fear us. He paused, letting his words reach the farthest colonies. For 50 years, Earth prepared for this day. Not alone, but through watching all of you. Every strength your species showed, we learned from. Every weakness we found ways to cover. Today, you'll see why humanity was worth fearing, and why that fear will save us all. The display showed Earth's true fleet emerging from hidden positions across the galaxy. Not thousands of ships, but millions. They had been building in secret for decades, hidden in asteroid fields, gas giants, and space between stars. But even more impressive were the gates, massive structures, each the size of a small moon activated throughout human space. They were not jump drives or warp gates. They were something new. Quantum bridges, Smith explained to the amazed ambassadors. Instant transportation anywhere in the galaxy. We can move entire fleets in seconds. The Watchers' fleet had split, attacking multiple systems at once. They expected the galaxy to scramble, to be unable to respond to attacks everywhere at once. Instead, human fleets appeared instantly at every attacked point. The Watchers found themselves facing organized resistance everywhere they struck. The first major battle happened over the agricultural world of Harvest Prime. 1,000 Watcher ships descended on the peaceful planet. The human fleet that met them was smaller, only 300 ships. But these ships fought like nothing the Watchers expected. Human vessels didn't maintain formation. They scattered, reformed, scattered again. Each ship fought independently while somehow maintaining perfect coordination. When Watcher weapons locked on, human ships simply stopped existing in that space, reappearing somewhere else. Not jumping or warping, but using quantum uncertainty to exist in multiple places at once until they chose where to be. And the weapons. The Watchers used energy beams that could crack planets. Humans used bullets, simple kinetic weapons. But these bullets were made of compressed matter from dead stars. They punched through Watcher shields like paper. They ignored energy defenses completely. More importantly, humans didn't just fight in space. Warriors in Aegis suits teleported directly inside Watcher ships. The organic machine hybrid vessels had no internal defenses. They had never faced an enemy that could simply appear inside them. Human warriors carved through them from within, planting antimatter charges that turned the massive ships into expanding clouds of atoms. They're pulling back, Vex said in amazement. The Watchers are actually retreating. No, John corrected. They're consolidating. The real fight starts now. On the display, the Jupiter-sized World Eater began to move, heading straight for Earth. The World Eater moved through space like a cancer, leaving dead zones behind it. Stars dimmed and died where its energy tentacles passed. Entire systems went dark. It headed straight for Earth, the Watchers' fleet forming a protective sphere around it. In Fortress Luna's command center, the gathered ambassadors watched in horror. The thing was unstoppable. Every fleet that tried to intercept was swatted aside. Human quantum jumping couldn't get close. The World Eater bent space around itself, making approach impossible. Earth will fall, Crix said, his voice filled with despair, and with it all hope. John smiled. You still don't understand. Earth isn't our weakness. It's our weapon. General Smith activated a new display. It showed Earth, but something was different. The planet pulsed with energy like a heartbeat. Deep beneath the surface, massive structures became visible. Every major war in human history, John explained. We learned something. World War I taught us trenches and defense. World War II taught us mobility and air power. The Cold War taught us deterrence. The Resource Wars taught us efficiency. And the Unity Wars, our last conflict before first contact, taught us the most important lesson. What lesson? Vex asked. That the best weapon isn't one you carry. It's one you become. Earth began to change. The oceans drained into massive reservoirs. The continents shifted, locking together. Cities descended underground as the surface reconfigured. In minutes, Earth transformed from a blue-green world into something else entirely. A weapon. The planet's surface was now covered in geometric patterns, each one a weapon array. The core, which humans had long ago converted into a massive fusion reactor, powered up to levels that should have cracked the planet apart, but Earth held together, strengthened by technologies that merged human engineering with lessons learned from every species in the galaxy. You turned your homeworld into a gun? Crix gasped. Not a gun, Smith corrected. Something better. The World Eater reached Earth's system, its tentacles reaching for the sun. The Watcher's fleet spread out, ready to destroy any resistance. They had consumed 1,000 worlds this way. Earth would be no different. Then Earth fired. Not weapons in any traditional sense. Earth fired reality itself. Beams of compressed space-time shot from the planet's surface. Where they touched, the laws of physics changed. Energy became matter. Matter became energy. The fundamental forces that held atoms together reversed. The World Eater's tentacles hit these beams and simply ceased. Not destroyed, but undone. The impossible physics that allowed it to exist were rewritten. It tried to pull back, but Earth wasn't done. The planet's entire magnetic field inverted, reached out, and grabbed the World Eater. Not physically, but at a quantum level. Every particle in the massive machine was entangled with Earth's quantum field. And then Earth did something impossible. It teleported the World Eater. Not through space, but through time. Just a fraction of a second, but enough. The World Eater appeared in the same space it had occupied a moment before, while its past self was still there. Two objects cannot occupy the same space. The resulting explosion lit up the galaxy. The Watcher's fleet froze. Their ultimate weapon. Destroyed in seconds by a single planet. They tried to retreat, but Earth wasn't finished. The planet fired again, this time at space itself. Walls of frozen time spread out, trapping the Watcher fleet like insects in amber. Human fleets materialized around the trapped Watchers. Warriors in Aegis suits boarded the organic ships, but this time not to destroy. They captured. They learned. Every Watcher technology was absorbed, understood, improved. Within hours, the invasion was over. The Watchers who survived were given a choice. Leave the galaxy forever or join it. Surprisingly, many chose to stay. They had wandered the universe for eons, destroying threats. Now they had found something stronger. Something worth joining. In the aftermath, as Earth slowly returned to its normal configuration, John stood before the Galactic Council one last time. "We could have conquered you all," he said simply. "Earth alone could have ruled this galaxy through fear. But that's not who we are. We fight so others don't have to. We grow strong so others can live in peace. The restrictions you placed on us didn't weaken humanity. They forced us to become something better." He looked at each ambassador in turn. "The galaxy is safe now. Not because humanity rules it, but because humanity protects it. We are your sword and shield. Use us wisely." As he walked from the chamber, Ambassador Vex called out, "What happens now? What does humanity do next?" John paused at the door. "Now? We prepare for the next threat. There's always a next threat. But this time, we prepare together." The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Earth's power had been held in check not by others, but by humanity itself. And when they finally let loose, it wasn't for conquest or glory. It was to protect their home. All of it.